Oh, are we in frame? Are we in frame? Yes. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd sit and film a little mental health video for you, as loads of you have been asking for one. So I filmed, I think, like 2 or 3 mental health videos on my channel before, and they were all kind of like really negative, like not really negative, but as in I was really sad and I wasn't in a good place mentally. Whereas this video I want to be a lot more positive, give you guys advice, answer any questions you have, and yeah, so I asked you on Instagram to send me in some questions, and without further ado, let's get into the video. First question is, how do you keep yourself happy? I think it's important to make yourself happy and feel safe within yourself, because when you become really close to someone and you start relying on their happiness, the second they're not around, or the second they're not there anymore, or the second you can't see them for a few days, you're going to feel empty, and you want to be able to feel secure and happy within yourself, and then they're just an extra to your happiness. Do you know what I mean? Because I think for a long time I relied on people to make me happy, and then when they left I crashed and burned, and it took me a long time to feel secure within myself. I don't think I'm making any sense, but I hope you get what I mean from that. And also, get a hobby, find something you enjoy, find something that you love, do it all the time, do it as much as you can, make yourself as happy as possible, write yourself to-do lists every day, so that by the end of the day, when you've ticked things off, you feel a sense of accomplishment, you feel like you've made the most of your day, you feel like you haven't wasted a day. Eat well, drink well, it'll make you feel energized, it'll make you feel positive, it'll make you feel refreshed, it'll make you feel good about yourself. Yeah, really just do things you love with people you love, and don't rely on other people solely for happiness, because you can make yourself happy and still have happiness with other people. Do you know what I mean? So they're my main points for keeping yourself happy. Advice on self-harm. So I want to try answer even deep questions on this. I don't want to avoid them because they need to be spoken about. This is really difficult, and mental health is a difficult thing to speak about. 1, because people find it hard speaking about their feelings, which they shouldn't, and 2, because it's hard to kind of other people's emotions, because you can't ever really judge how someone else is feeling. With self-harming, I understand that people feel like it's a way to relieve their anger and their stress, and sometimes feel like they deserve it. Need to take care of your body, and hurting yourself is not going to help the situation. It's not going to change the situation. It will not make it any better. Like, it really won't. It's a temporary thing, and you're going to be left with scars and pain, and you're giving yourself a permanent solution to a temporary problem. You're not always going to feel this pain, and you shouldn't hurt yourself. It's really not going to change anything. It's really not. It's not worth it. You will get out of the bad situation and the feeling that you're in. How do you stop an anxiety/panic attack? So I in school especially used to have anxiety attacks all the time, and sometimes people don't even notice, because like you just burn up, your heart races, you get sweaty, you can't speak, you can't look at people, you kind of have to completely close yourself off, you have to do something to like distract yourself. They're horrible. The best way to stop it is to take some time out. Like, I remember once I was in science class and I was having a really bad anxiety attack, and the teacher came over to me because I wasn't writing in I was just completely zoned out, wasn't doing anything. I was burning, my heart was racing. I have no idea what caused it. And my teacher came over to me, she was like, what's the matter? And I couldn't even speak to her. It's my friend. She was on my best friend, and she was sitting next to me. She said, I think she's having an anxiety attack. She said, what is causing? She went, go outside. So I went outside and just slumped against the wall and sat on the floor, was crying into my legs, and everyone was walking past me, like the teachers and stuff, like, what the heck? And my teacher came outside and she said to me, what is going on? And I was like, nothing. She went, well, it's obviously more than nothing. She said, you must be really stressed about something for this to be happening. And her just giving me that 5 minutes outside to myself, and for me to talk about it instead of sitting in the class feeling like I had to hide from everyone, it really helped. And I went back in, I felt so much calmer. So I think you've just got to ask for 5 minutes break away, because the more you're like getting called, like conscious of other people seeing you have an anxiety attack, the more anxious you're going to get and the worse it's going to get. So yeah, with a panic attack, I've had 4 or 5 panic attacks. I've had them a lot less than I've had anxiety attacks. The last one I remember full blown having was when I was to about a year or a year and a half ago, and I was applying to college and I went to do a dance course, and I went into the audition, I had a complete meltdown and just had a panic attack. And I remember we was in the middle of doing a routine and I just stopped dead, and because everyone was obviously dancing, it was so noticeable that I just stopped because everyone was moving at the same time, doing the same thing, and I couldn't breathe and I tensed up and I was sweating. It was awful. And the teacher, she said to me, she had to deal with these situations all the time, so she said to me, breathe in and out, breathe in and out, breathe in and out. She kept telling me to breathe, and I was shaking, really, really badly shaking. She said, you need to stop shaking and focus on your breathing, because you can't breathe because you're shaking too much. So I think when you're having a panic attack, you need to try to get someone else's attention, because had I been there on my own and had that panic attack, I don't know how I would have stopped it. Like, genuinely, I don't know if I'd have stopped it. The lady being there, I think it took about 30 minutes to stop the panic. It was really bad. And then I had a second one that day too. Because I think when you've had a panic attack, it really shakes you up. And so I think I was so shaken up that I had another one because I was scared about having one. But yeah, try and get someone's attention, because I do not know how I'd have got out of it on myself. I think every time I've ever had a panic attack, someone else has been there. So anxiety and panic attacks, make sure someone else is there to help you, because you can't deal with them on your own. Body shaming. No, you are yourself. Everyone is yourself. This is going to link into every single question about self-esteem, confidence, flaws, everything like that. This is all going to be for this answer, because every single person on this planet, their human body is different. It's not the same. It's really not. And this is photoshopped to look the same, therefore it is not real. Everyone looks freaking different. So when people are like, oh, look at my flaws, look at this, look at that. What do you mean your flaws? What is a flaw? How can you have something wrong with you? Who states what the right thing is? How is a spot a flaw? Everyone has spots. That doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Ah! Stresses me out, to be honest. It really does stress me out. Every human body looks different. Your body takes you through life, takes you to meet people, takes you to the most beautiful places you'll ever see in your life, tastes the most amazing food you've ever seen in your life. Your body does everything. You would not be alive without your body, so love it. It's the only thing you have to live with for your whole entire life. So take care of your body, love your body, and appreciate your flaws, because every flipping person on this planet is different. So if someone is commenting on something that's wrong with your body, what? That doesn't make sense. How can it be wrong with your body? I can't even fathom fat, skinny. What bugs me. Who the frick cares? Be yourself, love yourself, enjoy your life. Eat whatever food you want, because tomorrow's never promised and you've got to enjoy your life. Don't eat what you want, because if you want to be healthy and be a fitness geek and just be super amazing, do it, because YOLO, if that's what you want to do, it's what you want to do. Use your body to do whatever the frick you want to do with it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Tips on dealing with stress. I can't remember if I've already answered this question. I am out of focus once again. Dealing with stress, you need to remember that if you put yourself into a situation, take yourself back to the last time you felt really stressed about a situation. Think about the outcome of that situation and how you felt after in comparison to how you felt before. Because I guarantee you that how you felt after was relief, because it wasn't as bad as you anticipated it to be. And I've done that so many times, when all you're doing by stressing is putting yourself through the situation twice and putting yourself through crap for no reason. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. What will be will be. Stressing won't change it. It will just put you through it twice. Like, stressing will not change the outcome. If you're collecting your GCSE results next week and you're stressing right now, why? What are you stressing about? It's already sitting in the envelope right now. What are you going to do when you go collect your results? You're going to have to, if you haven't got the results you needed to get into a school, you're going to apply to another one. You're going to sort the situation anyway. What is the point stressing? Yeah, you might be a little bit disappointed if you didn't get what you wanted. Fair enough, you've worked hard for it. At the end of the day, there's no point stressing. Your numbers in your envelope won't magically change because you're worried about it. They won't. Obviously worrying means you care, but you're going to have to go ahead and keep moving forward regardless of what the situation is. And even with, generally, if you're really nervous about going to cinema with your friends, if you don't want to go, don't go. Don't be stressed about it. You don't have to go. I recommend that you do, because it's good to stay social and to surround yourself with people. If you really don't want to, don't feel forced into situations. And I guarantee once you're there with your friends, you'll have a great time anyway, and you won't be stressed anymore. And afterwards, you'll be glad that you went. So don't stress about things, because you always end up feeling relief after, because it was never as bad as you anticipated it. And I can guarantee you that, because the amount of times I've done that and the amount of hours I've spent stressing in total in my life that wasn't worth the stress for. I could have been having a laugh and I was stressing. For what? I'm still sitting here, I'm still fine, aren't I? How do you tell someone you are struggling over a loss when everyone else has moved on? First of all, I'm really sorry for your loss. Secondly, everyone deals with grief and stress and anxiety at their own pace. Everyone deals with things in their own way, in their own time. My voice sounds really weird. In their own time. So if you're still struggling and everyone else has moved on, or it may seem like everyone else has moved on, you don't know for a fact that they have. People suffer in silence, and as heartbreaking as it is true. People do suffer in silence. I can guarantee you're not the only one who's still suffering. You never really get over a loss, you just learn to cope with it. But don't be afraid. You need to talk to people. You go talk to your mum, your dad, your parent, your carer, cousin, friend, whoever you need to talk to, and just say, look, I really missed them, or just talk about them. Talking about that person will help, and I can guarantee you'll start the conversation flowing. You'll find out that those other people feel the exact same as you. How do you block out depression? I think the difference between anxiety and depression is that, well, the main difference anyway, is that depression is a chemical imbalance in your brain. It is much harder to control than anxiety is. Although anxiety is still really hard to deal with, it is controllable. And depression, of course, is curable, but it's your hormones, so it's a little bit different. I think seek advice from a doctor first things first, because they may give you medication that helps. However, I have heard many bad stories about antidepressants. Some people, they work wonders. Other people have really poor side effects, and it actually makes them worse. So seek medical help or actual mental health help. I went to the doctors twice, the hospital twice, and a mental health clinic. They started noticing that my mental health was poor. I knew I had issues anyway, and that I was really struggling. And then I basically, I started with the opticians. So I was at the opticians, and every time I went back, I had to go back quite regularly because my eyesight wasn't great. It isn't great. And every time I went, my eyesight would change again. My glasses wouldn't have been working. They'll work for a week, then they wouldn't work again, because my eyesight was constantly fluctuating. And in the end, my optician said, I really don't understand. I can only change your lenses so many times. I don't know why you keep changing, like your eyes keep changing so often. She thought it was because of my headaches. So I went to doctors, got some migraine tablets, and that was that. And then my migraines continued anyway. The tablets had really poor side effects on me. Really, really poor. They made me suffer quite bad. And my eyesight carried on, and nothing was really solved. I went back to the doctors, back to the optician, and in the end they said, we think it's deeper than this. They thought, obviously mental health was always a back burner, it's very, very, very common, and they said to me, we think you're anemic or something. So they sent me to hospital to have blood tests done. I had all these tests done, everything came back clear. As far as I'm aware, everything came back clear. So I was so confused as to what was going on, and it all came down, this blood test, hospital appointments, doctor's appointments, migraine tablets, because of my mental health, because I was suffering. I was so stressed and upset and hurt and affected by what people were saying to me at school or doing at school, or how people were around me in general, or what other people had done to me. I was so affected by that it actually caused them to think I had other further physical issues. And that's how much mental health can really, really affect you. It affected my eyesight, it affected my migraines, it affected my weight, it affected everything. So there's no way to block depression. That's the worst thing to do. If anything, you don't want to block it. You need to address it. You need to go seek the help that you need. And you need to figure out what is really, really going on. But yeah, just seek the help you need. That's the only advice I can give you. Because it's curable. But that's what I literally, one day I woke up and thought, F this. Them people that hurt me, or whatever happened to me to make me like that, I thought, you know what, I don't care anymore. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I think for about 4 or 5 years it was bad. And in the last 2 years before I picked up were the worst I've ever been. And I can't, like, I look back at the little girl in my bedroom, not even little, it wasn't even that long ago, crying and crying and crying, and feeling empty and sad, and oh my gosh, it was horrific. And I literally, it was on New Year of this year, last year, whatever you want to say. And people say New Year's resolutions are ridiculous. They're not, because I literally thought, do you know what, it's a new year. I spent so many years, I had my childhood taken away from me, being depressed and upset because of what other people have done. It's my life. I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. I want to be happy. I want to enjoy myself. I want to have a good time. And I got back into my hobbies. I literally, after years of suffering, I literally just woke up and thought, no, fuck that. I want to be happy. And it was as simple as that. That really was it, because you will get sick of feeling so down. You will get sick and tired of it and of being upset about the same things, and you will just change. And when people say to you one day you'll wake up and realise, and you think it doesn't happen like that, it honestly did for me. I literally got sick of feeling depressed because of what other people had done, and I got through it, and now I'm the happiest ever. I cannot explain to you how much it took a turn. I still have down days. In fact, I think about 2 weeks ago I had a bad few days. I just kept crying. I felt really crappy and depressed, and I actually recorded a clip of me just sitting on my bed crying, because I wanted to insert it in this video and to be like, look, at the end of the day I still have bad days. As positive and as happy as I am now, I still have my bad days. It's still normal to feel upset, but I accidentally deleted the clip. But it's normal to feel upset, so you're allowed to still be upset even when you're feeling better. Yeah, just don't block it out. Target it is all I can say. Tackle it head on. That's what you got to do. I hate summer holidays because I can't see my counsellor. What should I do to help me? So I have been in this situation. I had counselling at school. I had one counsellor the whole way through year 11, and I had one most of year 9, but I kind of gave in the counselling, and then it got to the point where my teachers and my family, everyone was like, you need to go back, like you have to go see them again. So I did, unwillingly, and I ended up loving my counsellor. She was so lovely and she really helped me. Just having someone to vent to every week helped me, and I think it was so easy to talk to a stranger because they didn't know about me, they didn't know people personally that I was talking about. So anyone that I spoke about to her, or situations I spoke about to her, she had to speak purely on the facts rather than being biased or something like that. So it was much easier talking to a stranger, and also because you don't feel that kind of, you're not worried about them judging you, and you shouldn't be, because friends and family you should obviously be most comfortable talking to. However, I was always a little bit scared too. I did talk to my boyfriend and my mum and my dad, and really I think that was about it, but it really helped talking to her. So then when I left school and all of a sudden she was gone, I was like, right, how to deal with this then? And then I got into a really bad rut. I think this is when I filmed my last video really. I was in like a purple t-shirt, I can't remember what I called it, and I was really low, and I did not know what to do, and I was desperate, and I went back. I think in November we had like a year 11 awards evening thing, even though we'd left in the June, and I said to one of my teachers, I was like, please get me her email, like, I need to talk to her. And eventually I just kind of got used to her not being there, and now I'm much happier and positive anyway. So, you know, it kind of was what it was. But I think try to speak to someone else. You can trust your friends and family. They're not going to judge you. If anything, they'll be relieved that you're talking to them, because they would be so heartbroken if they knew how you were feeling. And this is what I meant about don't rely on someone else, because not that it's a bad thing at all, it's really good. I'm so glad you're talking to someone, but then you need to be able to, when they're gone, you need to be able to stay happy yourself, and have other solutions. So try to talk to someone else. That's really all I can say. It will be fine, I promise. Thoughts on suicide. Okay, again, it's the same, not the same thing, but the same advice as the self-harm. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Everything always gets better in the end, and if it's not the end. It's really not. Everything figures itself out. You will always get through a situation. Please, please, please never turn to that option. It's not an option. It's really not. It's not going to fix anything. It's really not. You're just cutting the chance of you being alive is literally 1 in a trillion. It's nothing. And you are here and you are alive, and you're going to cut that opportunity short because of how you're feeling in the current moment. Even like if you're saying, oh, but it's not current moment, I felt like that for 5 years. I felt like it for a long time. I'm not saying you haven't, but what I'm saying is you can feel that for a long period of time, but in the long run, that was only temporary. When I was 14, I'd felt depressed for like 4 years. That would have been like a quarter of my life, over a quarter of my life. But in the long run, that is still temporary. And had I turned to that solution, it wouldn't have been a solution. I wouldn't have been happy like I am now. You get through it. You always get through it. I had a friend, literally over a year now, who done that, and the whole school was in meltdown. It was awful. I've never experienced anything like it in my life. It was the worst thing ever. And it's just so heartbreaking because so many people, he's like one of the like really bubbly and always like bantering around and being silly, and so many people were so confused. We were all confused because we were like, how does that just happen like that? And we wished more than anything he'd just spoken to us. And so you need to speak to your friends, like you really need to just reach out, because had we have said to him, oh, do you want to talk, is there something gone, or if he'd have turned around to one of us, that may have never happened, and that is the most heartbreaking bit. But it's really not a solution. It's just not, it's really not. So please don't ever turn to it. Please talk to someone, because it could change everything. Okay, so I've answered a lot of your questions, because a lot of them, there are hundreds, but they're all very similar. But I think I'm just going to chat for a little bit. So first things first, I said I wanted this to be a positive video. It has been a little bit negative, but at the end of the day, if we're going to talk about mental health, we need to talk about it. We can't tiptoe around it. It's not something to be tiptoed around. It's very important and it needs to be spoken about. It's a taboo subject and it shouldn't be. And I think as a society, we're getting much better at taking a stigma away from mental health and about speaking about it. But yes, I'm sorry if that really affected any of you, or you know, if that affected any of you, please message me. But it needs to be spoken about, and if I can do anything to help anyone who is feeling like that at all, I will do it, and I'll make 1,000 more videos if it helps just one person, because every life is so precious and you need to just grab it, just cherish it with everything you have. Yeah, but anyway, so I think I'm going to just chat a little bit, because a lot of you are asking how I am. And honestly, I am good. I am so happy. Happier than I've been in a very long time. I took up my hobbies again. I spoke to people. I just realised tomorrow is not promised. I want to make the most of my life. I want to enjoy my life. And the people hurt me. F them. They're not worth it. So I'm really happy. I still have my down days, of course, but I'm happier than ever. I think leaving school really helped me. I hated school. People made me feel crap about myself, but I realised, you know what, life is life. Enjoy it, cherish it. It is what it is. You cannot change anything. Things will happen as you go along. That is life. That's what happens. And you will learn to cope with things and to love yourself and to appreciate the situations, because I went through so much pain for so long, as do so many people, and I would not be who I am sitting here today in front of a camera trying to help you guys if I hadn't have kept going and kept going and kept going, if I hadn't experienced that. So everything happens for a reason. Even if it's heartbreaking, devastating, it shouldn't have happened. If it has happened, it may not have meant to have happened, but it will help you now, and it will help you shape you to the person that you are today. And if you're sitting here watching this video right now, then you're fine right now, watching me, you're fine. I'm not saying your heart's not breaking, I'm not saying you're not sitting there sobbing your eyes out, I'm not saying you don't feel depressed, but I'm saying you are okay. You're safe in your bedroom with heating and water and food in the cupboards and your family around you, and you just need to cherish that. But I think that's what I'm going to touch on for now. So thank you so much for watching this video. I love you all so much. I hope I could help any of you. If you have any more questions, please make sure to message me or contact me on any social media. Love you. Bye.